A year ago, my life fell apart. My parents sent me to Série Academy. They said it was my last chance. Everyone here lies. Everyone hides secrets. Secrets that can kill you. This school is not what it seems. Welcome to night school.
It's quite a mixed bag of emotions trying to take on the character of Ali, because on the one side there are parts that coincide with my own personality with Ali's, but on the other side she's quite different, and she does go through a lot of things and a lot of turmoil, emotional stress and all sorts of things that she goes through at her time during Série, so it's a lot to take on, and it's also a lot to think about, so it is quite challenging. But I like a challenge, which is, I guess, similar to Ali. So there are aspects that I can take from myself to put into the character, which makes it a lot easier. So I'd say that I'm quite similar to Ali in the way that she's quite strong, determined, she knows what she wants and she knows how she's going to get it, or if she doesn't know, she's just going to go for it anyway. So I think that really helps me to draw from. And so yeah, in a way we are quite similar, but at the same time I've never been through half the things that she's gone through, because she finds out all these dark secrets about her family and all sorts of emotional stress is bombarded onto her. So it's a lot to take on, but it's a lot of fun. So I love playing her, it's great. No, it wasn't awkward at all actually. Campbell is lovely, he's very professional and he's very nice, and we're good friends anyway. You know, we've been doing the trailers for, I guess, a couple of years now, so we're good friends, and it's a job at the end of the day, so you've got to do things professionally. Because if you didn't, if you don't take it seriously, it's just going to make things difficult for yourself. You should have actually seen what it was like, how we had to do it anyway. It was enough to make anyone awkward, to be fair. We had Campbell, who's very, very tall, and then me, who's really short. So Campbell was squatting, and then I had to stand on a bag, and to watch, it's the most awkward thing ever, but you just have to get along with it, otherwise it would just never happen. No, it's absolutely fine, and my boyfriend doesn't mind. He's in the same kind of industry, so he understands, and it's all part of the job really, so you just got to get on with it. Yes, I've read a few of them a couple of times as well, just to re-go over details, try and get into the character of Ali as much as possible, because there's a lot of things you can miss on the first time. I mean, I know when I was reading them, I just get so excited when I read books like this, because it's so, really gets you into the world of Série and everything that's going on, so I just miss stuff half the time. So I have read them a few times, and I had to really. As soon as I'd read the first one, I couldn't help but buying the rest of the books and following the rest of the series, because there's so many cliffhangers that are left at the end of each of them that you're like, what's going to happen, what's going to happen? Like this last one, I can't wait for the next one, I really can't. I hope you're the same as well. I hope you guys are loving them as much as I am. Ooh, that's a tricky question. I think I've gone through different phases during reading the books, because obviously a lot happens during the series. So to begin with, I was more Team Sylvan. He was so suave and sophisticated, and that French sort of charm was really quite attractive and quite appealing in him. But then there's Carter, and there's just something about Carter that I've always loved. I think I've always been Team Carter, kind of regardless of what's been going on, who he's been with, what's happened. So I think it's going to have to be Team Carter. There's just something about Sylvan that I don't 100% trust. He seems a bit too perfect. And even when things are going really well with him and Ali, I still always Team Carter, so it's Carter for me. I'll try. Je parle un peu de français, mais bonjour tout le monde, bonne année, et je vous aime tous. Au revoir.
Hello Night School France, it's Campbell Chalice here. I'm in Thailand at the moment, so it might be a little bit noisy, as you can see down the street. How did I get the job as Carter West? Well, I met up one day with Jack and Christy. We got together, we had a coffee, and Christy talked me through Carter West, the character. And by the end of the day, Jack said, if you shave off your beard, you can be Carter West. So that's basically how I got the job. Have I read any of the Night School books? Well, I have to confess, I haven't actually read all of them, which is really, really bad, but I will get to it. I'm going to get myself a Kindle, I'm going to read all of the Night School books. I read a bit of Legacy, and I really, really liked it. I think Carter West, my character, is I relate to him very, very well. If you speak to Jack or Christy, I think they'll probably tell you that I am quite similar to Carter in real life. We share a lot of the same emotions, I think. I like to think so, and I think that's why I got the job. But yes, I will. I'm going to make that my New Year's resolution for 2015, to read all of the Night School books. Okay, so I was really, really pleased when I was asked to do the James Bond scene, because I thought, how can I let Lewis do a James Bond scene and not have one myself? And after all, Carter does have to, you know, show a bit of his body. So I actually said to Jack when we were filming, I said, any chance I could go for a bit of a swim in the lake? And he said, well, you know, why not? So off they came, clothes came off, went for a swim. Very cold though, England does get very cold in October. And with regards to the shower scene, that was quite funny actually, because to stop the glass steaming up, we had to use cold water. So although I look like I'm enjoying it and having a nice shower and deep in thought, it was actually really, really, really cold. Very cold. I love France. I go there every single year for my holidays because I like to do climbing and mountain biking and running, and it's very, very good for that. I go to Chamonix every year. I don't actually know any French. I'm really, really sorry. English people, not good at learning languages, but I'll give it a try. Bonjour, Night School Français. I don't know if that's right. I hope it is. But thanks guys, and thanks for asking these questions, and from Carter, Happy New Year. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, don't worry, I'll take this off for the next shoot. I know Carter doesn't have a beard, but I'm in Thailand, so you can see, travelling.
worked with Jack about two and a half years ago on another production, a comedy. I auditioned for a role to play a part of a soldier. Actually, it was one of the lead roles, but I was a bit young at the time. So he very kindly gave me a chance to play the part of a soldier. So I knew Jack, and I've kept in touch with Jack since then. And after that time, or at the same time as that movie was being made, his wife, CJ, was working on, I think, one of the first or the second books of Night School. It was still in its early stages. And I remember I spoke to her briefly about this new novel she was writing. And she was very excited at the time about it, but we didn't have a chance to explore that further and see what the book was going to be all about. So she kept in touch, Jack kept in touch over the course of the last two and a half years, and we have exchanged ideas on how to develop the Nathaniel character, and she said very much that she would like me to try out for it. So we had a script read, we had a chat about some of the work we could do with him, and discuss his character in more detail, and that's how I was cast, luckily for me, and how we've come to create this lovely, or not so lovely, character together. I've read, not all the books, I've read bits of, I think, the third book. I think it's Fracture. Really because I don't want to have too many preconceived ideas. It's actually helpful if I don't know what the other characters are doing and what they're going through, because it isn't really relevant to me when I'm preparing for the mindset of Nathaniel, because after all, although Nathaniel may be in the background in the book watching everything, I still don't think he has every detail. So for me to know the ins and outs of what Ali and Carter and Sylvan are doing would, I think, actually be counterproductive, and it wouldn't help me prepare the Nathaniel character. So I haven't read all of them. I've read bits and pieces of Nathaniel's appearances and the way he behaves and thinks, so I can focus on that character entirely. My character is someone quite opposite to me. I think he has some of the qualities that I'd like to have, and I try and develop, such as determination and focus and persuasiveness, and a lot of dedication and not letting anyone get in the way who might try and stop him achieving what he wants. So those are all things that I can connect to and relate to, although I try and use them for more productive purposes than he does. He is somebody who is very power hungry, and he's very manipulative as well. So those are things that I find a bit more challenging trying to generate, because they don't come naturally to me. But in studying some existing people in the world who are maybe a bit like that, politicians or criminal, I try to and take some of those aspects as well from those and put them all together to bring my natural traits as well as those external ones together into Nathaniel. That's how I've tried to build him, and that's how I think I can connect and relate to him. very pleased to see that all the characters are being so well received. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful to have worked with such a lovely cast. I think they're very, very passionate and very strong. They're dedicated. Ali or Jessica and Campbell and Sylvan, as he's more primarily known, although he is Louis in real life. They're all fantastic people. I mean, I got to meet some of the other newer cast members, the Gilmore girl, as well as the Ali's colleague in the first episode. And of course, Damien Thomas, who I worked opposite. I mean, all these people are very, very focused, and it was wonderful to work with them. I would definitely be up for a second series, purely because it's been so much fun. The director is a wonderful chap, as I'm very lucky to know him. And of course, CJ is a fantastic writer, and it's just wonderful to develop her ideas with her, to grow the characters together with her, and absolutely, a second series would be thrilling. I do have some words for the Night School France fans, but I'm going to have to read them, because the last time I learned French was about 10 years ago, and I didn't use it so much since. So here it goes. Bonjour les amis, je suis si heureux de vous envoyer ces salutations à Nuit École, Night School, la France. Profitez des livres et la série de web. Je sais que CG est ravi de vous avec elle sur le voyage de Night School. Rendez-vous les gars, à bientôt.
Bonjour Night School France, my name's Grace Parry and I play Katie in the Night School web series. So I saw the casting online and I originally applied for the role of Jo and went into audition, and afterwards they said that they thought I'd be more suitable for Katie, which I'm not sure if I should be offended or not, as Katie's a bit of a mean girl. And then I read the books and read about her and saw that she was a bit of a bitch, a bit of a mean girl, but very lovable at the same time, and thought, yeah, this would be a lot of fun to play, so that's how I got the role of Katie. I hadn't read the books until I got the role of Katie. I then asked if I could read them all, and I think I read the first book in a day. I just couldn't put it down, it was so good. The last book I'd read was probably Harry Potter, and that took me a long time to read. So it must have been good, because it didn't take me long to read Night School at all. It's very different to any other sort of teen books. It was exciting, had a bit of romance, had a bit of everything going on. So yeah, loved it. Well, Katie's a bit of a mean girl, so hopefully not too much. I'd say I might be a little bit bossy like Katie, just a little bit. And Katie loves being pampered. I think every girl loves to be treated, so if I had the money, I'm sure that I'd go on many a spa trip like Katie. You'll see in the episode that Katie likes being treated. So yeah, I think maybe a little bit bossy, but apart from that, of course I'm excited. It's been amazing. The response from everyone has been so good, and we really hope you enjoy the web series. We all enjoyed filming it, and thank you again for your support, and we hope you keep watching, and if enough people start watching, then I'm sure there will be a season 2, and hopefully I'll still play Katie because it was a lot of fun to do. Well, I can't speak French very well, but I did learn a bit especially for you, so I hope this is right. Continuez, regardez Night School. Gros bisous. Au revoir.
In all honesty, I hadn't really heard of the books until I applied for the role, and I did that through an acting website, Casting Call Pro. And then when I went along, I was actually the first one they auditioned for Joe, which was actually really nerve-wracking. And then I read the script, I loved it the minute I'd received it. And then I actually left the audition and was determined to go and read all the books, so I bought them all, even before I'd got the role of Joe. And then yeah, obviously Jack and CJ decided to cast me as Joe, which was amazing. I've read 1, 2 and 3, the second being my favourite, but also like the really sad one because obviously with the things that happened to my character. And then I'm about to start the 4th one in prep for the final one that comes out soon. I'm so excited. So Jo is she's a bit of a toughie on the outside, but actually she's quite vulnerable on the inside, which I'd say is my personality. She makes friends with Ali really easily, which that's me. I'll talk to anyone and everyone. And she has a bit of a knack for falling for the bad boy, which I'd have to say definitely when I was in my teens, I definitely fell for the bad boys a few times, so yeah. Oh my god, yeah, the web series has been amazing. Like, the episodes that have already aired are fantastic, and I would love to do a second series. Love to. But we need to get the fans behind us and like keep pushing them to do it. So yeah, okay. Cool. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Well, that was mostly Jack. I just wanted to write books.
Yeah, he really wanted to just write books. Yeah. Well, funnily enough, I found the original casting call for All the Pretty Killers yesterday, which was the first complete one we shot, and it said Night School Resistance book teaser. So originally we just planned to do like little extras to go to follow up to the book trailer, and then when they started to turn out really well, we just thought, well, hey, let's turn this into a web series. And so then CJ wrote The Gilmore Girl, and everything kind of tumbled from there, really, didn't it?
Yeah, once we made a couple, because we thought, oh, we'll just make a couple of short films and we'll run them between books 4 and 5. But then once we actually made a couple, we were like, oh my god, these are awesome. Like, let's make loads more.
Yeah. And there does exist a teaser with Nathaniel. And it's kind of almost like a music video, isn't it?
Oh yeah, God.
Which will never be released.
I like it.
But we use little bits of it in Power.
Yeah.
All the stuff on the top of the skyscraper that was from that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So it evolved naturally, and then once we got the idea, we were kind of fully into it, and then we discovered we were the first ever UK YA web series, and then we were like, yes.
I think we always saw this as a series of short films. So we'd already made a couple before we decided to make a series, and we liked the variety of that. I think we were also aware that if we stopped long enough to fundraise, in order to make a big series of basically the books from beginning to end, it could take years to get the money together for that, because that's a lot of money if you want to do it properly, and we wanted to do it properly.
We had no money.
Yeah, we had no money.
Nothing.
No.
Like,
So-
and the example I use is it's like the budget we had was would pay for about a quarter of the catering on an average TV budget. I mean, nothing.
We didn't have catering. No.
Sandwiches.
So some of it was practical. Some of it was trying to do something completely new. And some of it was just also giving something back to fans of the book so that I could give them, they're always asking me to write outtakes and extras. And this was just another way to do that in a way.
Yeah, yeah. And also the nice thing about it, about the format, is that, you know, web series are kind of like the Wild West in a way, in that nobody has yet, there's no rules.
Yeah.
You can do what you like. So, you know, they had to be short, but they could be 3 minutes or they could be 10 minutes, you know, however long the story kind of had to be.
Which we really liked.
we liked, yeah.
That's total freedom. So
I
you
think
can...
oh, the YouTube channel's coming up on 400,000.
Yay! Thanks, everybody! Maybe.
Yes, we definitely are considering it. No decision has been made. We will, once this series is finished, we will have a very serious talk about it, and I think we'll make a decision end of the month, maybe.
Yeah, a lot will come down to views, but so far it's doing really well. So I think we're just like, let's just see how it goes. Let's see if people like it. Let's see what the feedback is, and then we start thinking about it.
And if you want a series 2, the best thing you can do is to watch series 1.
Watch the videos.
Over and over
yeah.
and over.
Like them.
Yeah, like them. Like them. Like them and like them. Okay.
Yes and no.
Yes, no.
I mean, we've had lunch with producers. We've
A lot of lunches happen in this business.
We've talked to producers. We bought lunch for producers, hoping
Yeah.
that would do something. So, yes and no. Yes, we've been approached, but not with anything serious or anything that we considered doable yet.
Yeah.
So, producers, if you're watching, let's have lunch.
Those conversations are happening though, and we are trying. You know, that's our aim too, is to get a film or a TV series
Yeah.
made. And so yeah,
fun.
let's fingers crossed, fingers very crossed.
Yeah.
Well, there kind of is one, isn't there?
There's a couple of
Yeah.
little things, and okay, so there's one that will come out next week, because it relates to the next episode, episode 5.
All the Pretty Killers, my favourite.
Jack's favorite. It is quite. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything. Anyway, there is some behind the scenes thing that we're going to, like a little taster, we're going to release next week, and also at the end of it, you're going to put some stuff together.
Oh, the secret thing.
The secret
thing.
There's going to be a secret thing when it's all done. Yeah, so that will happen. So yes,
Should you have told me about the secret thing?
forget I told you about the secret thing.
You never heard it from us.
Je parle français un peu. J'aime les femmes françaises. Je t'adore. Et j'espère que vous aimez la série Night School Web Series. Mouah!
Ma français, c'est très très bof.
Bof.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, merci.